are you really trying to tell me what I think you're trying to tell me? I mean, I just probably, I mean, I mean, you're banging and banging and banging. Okay, and I see this. It's the show. Okay, I mean, are you? I'll say it. If that, I just don't know if we know the same things, you and I. Right. When I said who do they poll, very important. I said I never knew. I said these polls they take, right? I said 50% of people they poll think Obama should be impeached or something, or 50 of these crazy things that what people they're polling and they're reporting back. 70% of the country thinks this and that, and it's all crazy. Like. Who thinks that, right? I mean, are you trying to tell me what I would assume? That's probably true. I just never wanted to. But no, I mean that I'm sure it is. Right. Are they only polling people who are like extreme for a variety of reasons, like extremely like I'm trying to put it people who are underprivileged, not educated, stressed out with other things, and actually simply like just they're saying what they're seeing, what impression is left by their TV. That is to say, like they're not polling me. They're not polling people who are educated. They're actually polling people who sort of yeah, this. I mean, what they would say technically is like that they're getting an impression from the news, and they're like they're at the level of disadvantage they're at is such that they don't have interest. That it's not a slam on them to say that the news is bypassing their critical faculties. Like they have so little privilege, awareness, education, and are busy with other things. Where like it wouldn't occur to such a person that these educated, what sound like educated people talking on TV, like they must be this must be correct. I mean, why would they think not? Why would they think it wouldn't be? As you call someone who's why would someone? For example, like a person who there's all kinds of people who have no privilege in our society, no access to education, historically underprivileged, struggling to make ends meet. There's no reason for them to think that these the educated people on their television stations are just babbling on talking trash. They perceive this as this is real. What's on TV is real, and these are like someone like this Sean Hannity perceived no, he's a very bright guy. He's has a show. Then that we were all part of what privilege did. Anyone with any privilege, at all, is taking for granted that they just say these, even to say the people that host these shows are a bunch of idiots. That in and of itself is an incredibly privileged space to be looking through. That I mean that this no. I mean, for example, I give you Sean Hannity. Okay, I mean that. I mean this. I could say that Sean Hannity's on again. This. He's. But I mean, I don't take him very seriously in what he's saying or anything. Successful he's on TV, but I mean, I don't take him particularly seriously. No, but there's a kind of person who's had so little privilege, who's had so little access to education, is historically underprivileged in a bunch of things. Right? No, perceived like Sean Hannity hosting the show as an extremely bright guy, incredibly intelligent person who knows about the issues. Why wouldn't they think that? From where they're looking, yeah, why not? I trust. I really trust, Sean Hannity or Bill O'Reilly. They're really intelligent. That would be, what someone who had no privilege and was historically underprivileged would think. The fact that people, would make fun of a guy like this is something that takes privilege. No, I mean someone with no education, no opportunities, and who's been historically disadvantaged. There's no reason to think this isn't a highly intelligent person, and that the people he's bringing on are, even smarter than him apparently. Right? The whole idea that in a privileged space you talk about the cable news and all the channels is this sort of abomination, and everyone on it is sort of an idiot. And no, that's from a privileged point of view. No, I mean you call up, see, then that's who. It's interesting too. You're right. That's who would be like who answers. Who would they poll? If someone called me up and said we're taking a poll about what you think of the president, I'd say how'd you get this number? You know what I mean? Like there's a type of person who answers a pollster. If the pollster call me up right now, I'd say something. I'd make a wise ass remark and hang up. No, there's a type of person who receives a phone call from someone who sounds white saying, excuse me, sir, we're taking a poll. Like, oh, yes, right, what's going on? Sounds serious. Someone with no privilege. Right, that's who they poll. That's who they poll, isn't it? They're polling people with so little privilege that they'll talk to a pollster on the phone for a long time. Oh, that's fucking, but that makes sense. That's why I've never met anyone who answered a poll. Right. You call people who are, right. You call people with no privilege. They'll stay on the phone with a pollster for a long time, who's also watching cable news and has no idea that the hosts aren't like there's Sean Hannity's an incredibly bright person to someone's perspective. He's educated. He has a show. Right. That's how they're doing it. That's what those polls are, and of course, doesn't occur to them that the impression. Matter of fact, a certain kind of person wouldn't even what the poll is getting. What's your impression from what you're seeing on your TV is almost what it is. But no, you say, well, do you think also that they would naturally wanna wouldn't say no, I don't agree with anything I'm hearing. No, oh no, well no, the healthcare law should be repealed. That's what it seems like to me. The president hasn't done a good job. Right. That's who they're polling. They're polling the least advantaged, who has no privilege, no access to education, and who's so underprivileged in the society that they'll stay on the phone with a pollster for a long time. That's probably what they're doing.